Here we are with Ezequiel Palacios. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me here. It's a pleasure. I mean, I watching you since a long time.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Because you started with this kind of a project that you talk about volleyball here in France, and I asked to myself why there isn't a person who talks about volleyball in French, because after the two Olympic gold medal that the nation has won, I asked to myself why. But you are here, and thank you for having me, man.
I'm trying. Yeah, there is not a lot of person speaking about volleyball in France, and in English too, in fact. There is some people trying, but there is not making some content with players and a lot of people try to speak of dramas also, you know.
Yeah, but definitely. Yeah, I think it's drama is, it got more attention, I guess.
Yeah.
So that's why I understand what you mean.
No drama for today.
I hope so.
You playing in Montpellier since 2020. Wait, it's public that you sign again until...
Yeah.
Okay. So you're gonna stay in Montpellier until 2028. But before you went in so many different championship. You went also in Italy. Every time before I'm making and recording a podcast, I try to read some interviews that I can see on you. And I wrote that when you was young, you was playing football, as a goalkeeper.
Oh, yeah.
It's true?
Yeah, it's true. It's I mean, in Argentina, our dream is to play football, to become a football player. So the first gift that I had when I was a little kid, it was a football, I played a lot just with my friends, and then I had the opportunity to go to Argentinos Juniors in that moment to try it, and I did the tryout, and I was so close, and then I remember that we started around 500 kids there, and I survived until the end, the last week. And last week they said, okay, thank you for coming.
but goodbye.
Yeah, but goodbye. And after that, I was so disappointed. You have no idea. And I said to my parents, I don't want to play football anymore. And my dad was like, what? Huh? What are you saying to me? And I said, yeah, Dad, I want to play volleyball.
From where?
From nowhere. The idea came to my mind and said, okay, you have to play volleyball. And I have to be honest with you, I wasn't a good student. I didn't like to be, in
school.
Yeah, in school. My dream was to play football or playing overseas. I saw during the secondary school, I saw a volleyball team that they were practicing, and I asked to the coach at that moment. I said, "Can I join you?
Can I come?
Yeah, can I join you guys?" And they asked me, "Okay, but have you ever played volleyball before?" And I said, "No. I play football." And I remember his face. He hesitated, okay. We can try.
Because it means you started volleyball, I saw at 15, 16?
Yeah.
It's not late, but it's not
late.
early.
Yeah, for me it's late because I didn't have the foundation. I didn't know how to make a bagger. I didn't know how to set the block. Forget it. And I just right there and said, okay, you have to follow the ball. And you have to spike, and then I started playing. And after that, I saw the opportunity. I said, okay, I want to become a volleyball player. I want to try this, and it was a big challenge for me.
Because, as you said, you were disappointed after this situation with football. You wanted to quit football because, as you said, in Argentina, a lot of people dream about making career.
Yeah.
But you still had the fire to try to do something in volleyball, or at the beginning you even didn't think about this?
No, I mean, after that tryout that I felt, there was a time, at least 1 month, 1 month and a half, that I didn't want to play football. Not even with my friends. And
Okay.
yeah, it was really hard.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it was hard.
Because like when you have a dream and you understand it's not possible. It's
Yeah, and you know what? Is you are only a kid, uh, 12 years old, 11 years old, and you go there with a lot of, with dreams about that. And the coach said, "Okay, thank you for coming," and nothing else.
Like so cold. Like it's really life coming back
Exactly,
on childhood.
Exactly. And I was okay, man. This was hard. This was hard because my town, San Martin dos is the name of my town. It's a little village with 8,000 or 9,000 people living there. So I didn't do any step before to arrive to Argentinos Juniors. We can say that I grew up in the campaign, let's say, in the farmer, and then I went to Buenos Aires, to the big city, to the jungle. And that was shocking, For me, it was like, oh man, what is this?
What, there is so many people.
Yeah.
Why everything's going so fast?
Exactly. And I saw that, and I said, okay, this is hard. This is, even for my parents, was hard, because they did such a great effort to take money, because we didn't. My family is a normal family. We don't have a lot of luxurious, let's say. So I remember that we had to borrow some money, from friends, my parents' friends, and with that we went to Buenos Aires. With that money, we went to Buenos Aires, but it was the process was hard, really hard. I learned a lot. That's true. That I have to be honest. I learned a lot. After that, I said, okay, what I learned here, I have to do it in volleyball. And that's why I chose volleyball, and that's why I tried so hard ever since. So hard, every day, every single day. I tried to do my best to improve. Volleyball for me is like an obsession. My sister or my brother, even my family said, why don't you come here, stay with us, hanging around. And I said, no, I have to take a rest. I have to do some musculation. I have to, eat well, sleep. And there is a part of me like I'm like a machine, let's say. And there is a part of Ezequiel being a human being, with my family. But nowadays, I know if I want to continue with this, I have to be in the other side, like being super professional, taking care in every single detail, for example. It's hard even for the family, Now I try to be the human, Ezequiel human, because I had a little kid. And now there is a second one is coming.
Oh,
and
congratulations!
Thank you. And sometimes I said, okay, Pala, you have to, stop. You have to. Maybe you should try to be a good father, because the time is moving fast, and a lot of people, told me that, man, be careful. The time is moving so fast. So enjoy your family, enjoy your little kids, because after it's too late, And I try to find a balance between those two,
Because like as you said, you grew up like in a not small family, but like as medium family.
Yeah,
I can say.
we could say that.
Did you felt like you had to succeed because your family made a lot of effort first for you in football, but like after, I think also in volleyball maybe.
Yeah, 100%. You know, there is a story about me and my father that when I communicated him that I didn't want to play football anymore, I want to play volleyball. The first step was to go to the capital of my town. Okay, it was Formosa. Is Formosa the name of my, how do you say, province?
Yeah, province. Yeah.
Province. Okay, and it's located 350 kilometers away from my town. So I went on holidays with my grandma. I discovered the volley there, and I saw the opportunity to play volleyball in Formosa, and I came back to my village, and I said to my parents, "Okay, this is what I want to do." And he said, "No, definitely no,
Okay.
no." And I said, "Give me the chance, give me the chance, give me the chance, please give me the chance." Okay, we are going to do a test. You are going to live 3 months with your grandma. You have to go to school. You have to do a normal life, but you have to play volleyball. Okay? The first month, perfect. The second one was like, okay, I'm kind of missing my family. I'm kind of missing my friend. The third one, I remember I went to visit my parents a weekend, and you know we traveled with minibus. So the minibus came for you in your door, in front of your house. You have to go out. Ciao, let's go. And I remember that I was so sad, because the time to go was arriving, you know, from my town. And I went to see a friend, and I said, "Look, what can I do? I don't want to go. I don't want to go. I just want to stay here." I was in my village, and I had to go to my grandma with my grandma in Formosa to play volleyball, which that was the idea, the first idea. So I came back to my house, my parents' house. The minibus arrived, and I didn't want to go. You know, I said to my dad, "Please, I just want to stay here. I don't want to go. I miss you guys so much. I want to stay here. I'm crying every single night thinking about you guys, and I want to stay here." And my dad said, "No, you go."
Whoa. Okay.
And it was, you know, "But dad, why are you doing this?" I said, "You go. You have to go, because you take the responsibility of what you choose." So in that moment, I remember I went to the bus crying, and I remember that I cried until I fell asleep. Few weeks later, I started to understand what he meant, you know, what he meant. Like, okay, you want to do this, you have to do it.
And do it really
And
100%.
do it, yeah, at 100%. I took that and I tried to do it in every single thing that I do in my life. You know, if I want to cook, if I want to, I don't know, make a paint, if I want to play cards, it's like a lot of people tell me, "Okay, chill out, man, relax. We are playing." Yes, we are playing, but
But I want to play and I want to win.
Exactly. But I learn a lot.
As you said before, but just now also, like, you are currently also like kind of obsessed with like doing something 100%, and sometimes it's hard to understand who you are outside of volleyball.
I try to be a good father, a good husband. I try to be connected with my family. You know, it's true that I cannot separate the Ezequiel Palacios volleyball player and Ezequiel Palacios human being. But I try to do now I try to do stuff, more stuff, a lot of things outside volleyball, but always looking at volleyball. Like, okay, can I go for dinner, for example? No, can I go for dinner? Can I drink a wine? Okay, but I have to go to train tomorrow, or not? Or the match is in 2 weeks, or is in 1 week? Okay, so I make the decision
Everything around volleyball.
around volleyball. Sometimes, of course, I try to do what my family wants, but it's so difficult. I think it's so difficult for my wife also. Like, oh, this guy he wants to rest. He doesn't want to go to the beach, and it's hard for her and for my family. But well, it's what it is.
But she were playing also, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, in Lat.
Yeah.
Lat is close to Montpellier for people who don't know.
Yeah, she's a former volleyball player, and she stopped his career because he joined me in this adventure, and then we wanted to become parents. So there were a lot of points in which she looked, let's say, or she observed and said, okay, I want to stop. We are living here together. We are so happy. I'm so happy that we created a beautiful family. We are living here, well, just as you said, since 2020.
Yeah.
After the pandemic.
How is like for you now to stay a little bit like in same place, because at the end of your contract in 2028, I don't know what you're gonna do in future, but like it would have been like 8 years in France. Wow, it's nice to have like sometimes in the same spot, like not moving every season basically.
Yeah, I mean, we came here, and the idea was, okay, 1 year, we should try. We should try. I said to her, we should try France, 1 year, and then we will see. And look at me, man. 6 years, and I have 2 more, and we didn't think about this, to happen. Like, we didn't plan this to stay, and it's not normal. It's not normal
in volleyball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Volleyball is not normal. I mean, I'm lucky. We are lucky. We are lucky to stay here for such a long time, and well, I just want to continue playing volleyball, but we have to wait until, you never know what's going to happen. So we live life. We are so good here in Montpellier. Now we talk in French. And
Your wife too?
My wife and my kid is complicated for her now, because we talk to her in Spanish, and in the school she talks in French. So she's trying to mix, the words, like saying gracie, for example, or something like that. It's so cute.
Like for gracias and merci.
Yeah. It's so cute. Merci. Or now she's saying like, d'accord. Okay.
Because like I was asking myself also the same, like, because my girlfriend is also playing. For now we don't have kids, but we would like in future.
Yeah.
She's not French, she's Ukrainian.
Oh, okay.
So and I was like chatting with ChatGPT, and I said like, okay, just imagine she plays in Italy, and go to school in Italy. At home, she teach him Ukrainian. I teach him like French, and in school she learn Italian. And parents speak in English. How many languages you need to speak to be able to speak with the family?
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's. I think it's kind of strange. At the beginning, it's strange because, for example, my child is like, okay, now is getting there, but at the beginning was English, Spanish, French, and my wife said, okay, for me it's a lot, and I said, okay, well, we have to try just French and English, but French and Spanish, sorry. But nowadays, my child is watching a movie, and maybe she pronounces in English, for example, a word, or maybe she's playing a lot with the toys, and sometimes she talk in English, and you said, okay, now I'm lost because we are not talking in English anymore. We are not watching movies in English anymore, and my kid is talking in English. It's kind of, it's strange, but it's so cute. It's so cute.
Like, I think it's maybe the worst time to make some interview now in the season. I mean, because like you in playoff and soon you're gonna play the final. But I want to speak about like so many things, and also about the national team, because you were in Tokyo in 2021. Did like Olympics help your family, friends, and everything to understand your obsession and passion for the sport?
Yeah, I mean, with my wife it's too easy because she was a former volleyball player, so she understands. For my family, it was the process was hard, to understand. But I think the Tokyo was a really good, because we won the medal. But after that, they learned a lot of that. They learned a lot because they saw the effort that I had to do, to get there, and they saw that it wasn't easy. For me, for example, the first time that I used the national team jersey was at the age of 21. At the beginning, I did the pre-team, and at the end the list, okay, thank you for coming.
Like football.
And I said, no,
Not again.
not again, man. And it was like this every single year until I was 21, and then I started playing the national team. But to get there, it took me a lot of effort, a lot of nights crying, on the phone with my family, saying no,
Not this time.
not this time again. I'm out, and my family was okay. You have to continue. You have to continue. You have to continue. Continue. Go. Keep keep. Let's say keep hitting the rock. Keep hitting the rock. Keep hitting the rock. Keep hitting the rock. And that's what it's the first thing when things aren't going in the mood that I want. For example, I said, okay, keep hitting the rock. Keep hitting the rock, Pala. Come on. But yeah, that was Tokyo was a really good experience for everyone. For everyone. I mean, for the country.
Because it was like one of the first Olympic medals since a lot of years.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think 33 years ago, or something. In that moment, we won a medal. Imagine that the Facundo Conte's parent Hugo Conte won the medal, and then Facundo won the second medal in the history of volleyball, and it was a long time, I'm happy, I'm happy that I was there, that let's say I was dreaming about playing Olympic Games, I dreamt a lot, and I played too, and I was in Paris as the 13th player, but I was there, so I had 3 Olympic Games in my CV.
That's not so bad,
Not at all.
Paris was more difficult for the team, I mean.
Yeah, it was difficult because we didn't arrive in good shape to the Olympics because we had to qualify before, so we had to play the VNL, every single match, 100%, 110%, and it was exhausted. He was exhausted. I believe that we didn't perform well the Olympics because we were done. We were so tired because of the qualification before. But well, we have to continue hitting the rock.
You planning to say it a lot today.
Yeah. Yeah.
You played in like a different country. You play like currently in France. You played in Italy. You played in Poland, and you play in Argentina also.
Yeah.
As you said, like when you arrive in Montpellier, you in France, you wanted to stay like one season, and after you would see. Like, if you stay for sure, like there is a lot of reasons. I don't know, contracts good or something, but like, what like this club or championship or city gave you that you stay
Such
that
a
much
long
time?
time.
Yeah.
Such a long time. Okay. Well, first of all, the club the club has a really high standard. Like they want to achieve everything. They want to achieve the championship. They want to achieve the French Cup. They want to play the Champions League. They want to play everything. And to me was okay, man. It's a good challenge. I want this. I really like it. I want this. I want to challenge myself, and I want to see if I am capable of playing those things. Of course, that the village is beautiful.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. We have the beach. We have the city center. It's amazing. My family is so comfortable here, and I believe that if my family is comfortable, I'm going to be comfortable too. I'm going to be relaxed. I'm not going to be worried if they like or not.
It's true that there is big difference in France. I mean, if you were in Montpellier, the city is so much different that if you are in Tourcoing.
Oh, yeah, man, 100%.
And sorry for Tourcoing. I have apartment and friend there, but like we have to say like, yeah, Montpellier it's quite different than like the north of France.
Yeah, yeah, it's difficult. It's different. And also, I played in Poland, and I played in Austin, and there was, I mean, snow, just snow.
Poland, it's so hard, man.
Cold.
At 2 in the afternoon, it's already sun's going down.
Frozen. And let me add something else. I didn't speak in English in that moment. I just speak Spanish. And that was so hard, man. So hard. 8 months there without speaking with no one. And after that I said, okay, you have to learn English.
Because at this time, like, your wife were still playing, and she wasn't with you in Poland?
No, she went just for holiday, just for Christmas time, and then she returned to play. But she was the only one who visited me in Poland, because it was complicated. It was so hard because where I came from, the temperature is like 43, 45 degrees. It's so hot. And I went to Poland like minus 21, minus 17. Oh man.
Man, I'm so afraid because like next season I'm supposed to live in Poland.
Okay, man. Well,
good luck.
Okay. At least you know.
Yeah.
You have to prepare. Be prepared.
Thank you for the warning.
No worries.
You play like now 6 season in France. I don't know how to ask this, but like, how do you see your future? I don't like asking you like if you wanna stay or how much season you wanna stay or if you receive some offers, but like. Now, as you said, like you're growing up a family, you will have like second kid soon. Is for you now like family not more important than volleyball, but like you first think about like family before doing some choices?
Yeah. Now we have to, every single choice or every single, I don't know, option that I have, we have to discuss as a family. Saying, okay, we have this. What should we do? at the beginning it was okay. Nati is the name of Natalia, is the name of my wife. I said, okay, Nati, we have to move to Italy. Okay, Nati, we have to move to French. Now we cannot do that. Now it's okay, Nati. What can we do? You know? And there, from that point, we have to take the decision, but together. It's not just me. It's just now it's us, you know, and we have to take in consideration a lot of things about to before taking a decision.
You see yourself like in future with a national team, like
After Paris, I said to my teammates, "Okay, guys, thank you for everything. I stop here. I'm not going to continue with the national team." And I also talked with the coaches in that moment. It was Marcelo Mendes.
yeah.
And I said, okay, coach, thank you for everything. I'm done. This year there is a new coach. I mean, I knew him because he was the Marcelo Mendes assistant coach. So I know him very well. And this year he called me. And when I was drinking mate alone in my house, and I saw the movie. I saw the phone, and I saw his name, appearing in the cell phone. I said, "No, man,
Oh,
why?
shit. Here we go
why
again."
are you calling me? Why?" So I took the phone and said, "Why are you calling me?" And he called me. He called me like, okay, I want you this year in the national team. And he was, okay, okay. But first of all, I have to talk with my wife, okay? And then my wife was on holidays in Abu Dhabi or something. Yeah, it was in Abu Dhabi. And I called her and said, look, this is happening. No, she said. And I said, yes, this is happening. Not again. And okay, we took some time to think about that. We weren't sure about if my second child is going to born here or in Argentina. And that was a tough decision, And I said, okay, we can do this. You go to Argentina before I think the 7 month, because pregnant woman, sorry, they can go to the airplane just
After.
7 months, just 7 months. After that, you cannot fly, okay? And I said, why don't you go to Buenos Aires and you wait for me? And she said, no way. No way. I'm not going to lose the end of the league. The playoff. I'm not going to.
She wanted like stay and see the games.
Yeah, I don't want to. I'm not going to miss the playoff. I just want to be here watching the playoff, and why not? You play the final. We never know. And I said, okay, but if you are there, I finish.
can join
Yes, I finish here. I go to the national team, and then we try to find some solutions, some options, and we finally decided to stay here. She said, no, I'm not moving. I'm going to stay here with you until the end. And I said, okay. So I grabbed the phone. I said, look, man. Sorry, but I can't come. But this year I'm not going to play for national team.
But it's not a forever no.
And now we could say that it's not forever no. But I'm getting older.
Yeah.
And it's not that simple. To be national team, it requires, a lot of energy, a lot of, let's say, you have to be careful, you have to be really focused. And I don't know if I am able to, to have that kind of concentration, let's say, every single day during the 3 months. And then we have to go to the club and perform a really good for the club. And like this is entire year, this is complicated.
Yeah, like really, because I was with the French national team for the World Championship. I think you can only realize when you in the team like how much sacrifices the guy have to do.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like as you said, you have kids now. You cannot like live that much easier that you could have done before.
No. You cannot. Now you have to think twice, maybe 4 times before to do something else.
I don't know when I'm gonna release this podcast, but like currently you're playing like for the final. I'm gonna play against Poitiers. I think I'm gonna release this podcast after the final. But it could be fun to see what you're thinking now in few weeks.
Okay.
Like, what can you say me about this final coming?
It's going to be tough, man. I think we are playing at a really good level. We played a really good season. You know, we did a really good job during the entire year. And
Finished second of the
we
championship.
finished second,
Yeah.
and with a lot of injuries player.
Yeah.
So Nikolegov wasn't there. Simon Hirsch wasn't there. I think 2 months. And even though we were competing, you know, like we were playing as our best as possible, and I think we did a great job because of the Champions League, because of the French League. I think that we have to be ready to suffer, because, you know, the finals, every final is complicated. We have to be ready to suffer after we will see the result, because this is what we are doing, you know, we are doing this year, or we were doing the entire year. Like we try to play the best volleyball that we can. So I think if you ask me the same question in a few weeks, I'm going to answer the same question. You know, yeah.
I made a podcast few months ago now with Tonyuti. It doesn't have like the setter typical profile. Like, I mean, he's not that tall, but so talentful for sure. And currently in the French League final, it's gonna be same. It's gonna be Mati Sanchez, who like is definitely not that tall too, but still playing at the highest level. And Anatole Chaboisson, who like, let's say he doesn't have the best shape,
Yeah.
but they're still in final. And for me, it's kind of nice. Like, you don't have to be 1 meter 97 blocking and reaching 330 to be able to play something, you know. I don't know, like, how do you see like the evolving of like players? I mean, physically.
I think nowadays the volleyball is more physical. You know, it's just service, spike, service, spike, services. If you see the Italian championship or the Poland championship, you can see that they make 2 or 3, sometimes 4 aces per set, and every single match.
And they don't have bad receivers.
You know, you know what I mean. You see Trento, for example, with Micheletto, Lavia, or maybe Civitanova, Perugia. It's like, okay, service, boom, we leave the ball in the 3 meters and then we play. And it's like every single weekend is the same. You know, it's a pattern, like service, spike, service, spike. To me, these 2 guys that you named, of course, they have a big talent. They are so talented. They know how to play volleyball. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They know how to play volleyball.
They volleyball players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They know how to play volleyball. They know how to manage the team. They know how to set the ball, you know, to every single player. So of course, Mati is not that big, or Anatoly is not that in shape, as you said, but his mind is, controlling everything, and they have the talent. They have their mind are really good. So at the end, you have to play well at volleyball. At the end.
And do you think like these kind of guys, like they get underestimated sometimes? Like it's social networks,
Yeah.
But I read like comments and people say, what he's doing, you see, but like I think people doesn't realize the brain, as you said, that guys had,
Yeah.
and the hands also. Like you saw those guys, Mati or Anatol or Tonyuti. Wow, well done, guys.
Tonyuti is a legend, man. Tonyuti is incredible. Is for me is the example. Like you search the word example in the dictionary, and you said Benjamin Tonyuti, man. This guy won everything, and this guy is so professional. I heard a lot about him. You can see the result, and also I believe that Mati thinks, okay, but if this guy is doing this, why cannot? What can I? So they tried, and of course, not everyone succeed, but there is one like Mati exception that he has succeeded in this sport.
I'm gonna ask this question to Mati directly, but like, do you think it's simple? Do you think it's hard? For Mati to be a setter next to Luciano Di Cecco.
Oh man, this is a question that probably you have to ask him.
We'll ask him.
Yeah. But I can answer you with my point of view. And for me, for every single setter, it's going to be complicated. You know what I mean? Being fighting for a place in the team with Luciano Di Cecco.
Good luck.
It's going to be difficult, but this is my point of view. Maybe he thinks.
I'm gonna ask him for sure.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
maybe, yeah. You should ask him.
I really hope, like, because now I didn't tell you, but like I have my French channel and I wanted to do this in English because I want to make an English channel to be able to
Wow, man.
show more volleyball to people.
Ambitious project, huh?
Yes, a lot of work. And thank you. I really hope like some people from Argentina are gonna watch this podcast, even if it's in English, but I will put Spanish subtitles.
Perfect.
What kind of advice or words you could say to young guys that you were 20 years ago?
To myself or to the people?
Maybe not to yourself, but like to people who were looking like you at same age,
Well, believe in themselves. Believe in themselves. And I believe a lot in the work, I am a really hard worker. I reached the obsession point in this sport. Like, okay, I have a ball and I try to touch the ball against the wall, just because I want to, for example, feel something different in my arm, in my arms. Sorry. My advice is you have to believe, you have to work hard, and you have to continue no matter what. No matter what, you have to continue. You have to continue no matter what happens, because you will never know if you don't try.
And do you think like sometimes it's nice to be painful when you were a kid, like mentally, because like as you said, if your dad didn't push you at this time to go back, maybe we'll not be there together to speak.
Yeah.
And you would have not be pro, maybe, like we don't know what could have happened, like but I think I don't know if you speak about with him like by the past about this situation, what happened when you were a kid, but like maybe it was also hard for him to put you back in Middle East.
It was. My mom told me, he He said no. After that, he locked in the room and he started crying like a baby. And I asked him as well, why did you do that in that moment? Why did you do that? And he answered me and he said the same thing that he told me in that moment, like, you choose that, you have to go. You have to. You gave your word. You gave your word. You have to go. He said, you gave your word. You have to go because the word is the most important thing. And I said, okay. Well, thank you. It was, of course, that conversation we had 5 years
after,
later. Yeah. But yeah, it was hard for him too. And man, now that I am dad, I don't want to I don't want to force to my kids like, okay, you have to play volleyball. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or you have to do this, or you have to do, no. I don't want to. But sometimes it's like, I think I can help here,
But it's kind of fun, like, to imagine if you would have been in same situation with your kid, like, you would have put your kids in minibus.
I think, yeah, man. I think, yeah. I think my father didn't have any other option in that moment, and it looks like it was a bad dad in that moment.
No.
But now if you look in the perspective, you said, no, man, he was teaching me. But in that moment, I didn't. I swear God, I didn't want to understand. I was
so
like,
hard.
I was hate him because he pushed me, outside of their house to go to my grandma's house. After 5 years, maybe, I said, okay, I have to talk with my dad and ask why he did that. Why do you do that? He said, you have to learn a lot, and I'm trying to do it every single day. I'm really curious, I'm really curious. I like to learn a lot. And sometimes I ask to myself, why didn't do that in the secondary school, like
I work with the men's national team, French, and it's something that I really would like to do in future, well, like, to go and follow some national team, like, Argentina, US. I think can be so nice in future to make some small documentaries of, like, following guys in competition.
Yeah.
Can be so nice. Yeah.
But you can do it, man.
Okay, I have to finish this interview. Maybe we can do one more in future.
I'm comfortable here.
Yeah, I'm trying. Even if you can see, like, I think for the audience, it look like okay, but like you can see it's not studio.
Yeah, but it's beautiful, man. I'm so happy to be here, and I don't want this interview finished. Like.
Thank you. It's okay. It's not finished yet.
Okay.
A few questions, like yes, no, and or like short answers.
Okay.
The strongest player you play with.
But what do you mean stronger?
Like, when you see him play, you say, "Wow, this guy is
amazing."
Yeah,
amazing.
Yeah.
Well, the Cecco, Luciano.
Why?
Because he's so talented, man. He's doing things that I never seen before. Like technically, the decision. You can see him setting the ball. From one side to the court to the other, like.
And it looks like so easy.
Easy,
but
yeah.
if you do
so
same, the ball goes in the antenna,
exactly.
And it's the end of the point.
Exactly. But I think the Cecco is the strongest one. Yeah, it's a machine. But also I play with Sebasole, I play with Loser, I play with Facu Gonte, with Anani, with those Lima. Those players are amazing, man. They're machine. They're like machine. But Luciano is one of the best.
Same question, but against the strongest player you ever play against.
But I think it's a tough one. It's a tough one because I play with
with some amazing players
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
Italian
against-
championship, in
yeah.
national team, and everything.
Yeah, but I think that Leon, Erwin, is
Leon and Gapet.
Phew. They, yeah, I mean, for me, they blow my mind. But you know, Leon, Wilfredo, we faced him in the 2010 in the Youth Olympic
Oh,
Games
okay.
in Singapore, and I played against him, and he was an animal. You know, that moment that was an animal. Now he's an animal too.
Yeah, yeah.
And Erwin is crème de la crème, como se dice.
La crème de la crème.
Crème de la crème.
C'est bon ça.
He's amazing. Erwin
Like
is
it's
amazing.
the volleyball player. Yeah.
It's like Luciano.
Yeah.
I think he does a lot of things that you said, come on, man, how do you do that? And he's doing every single match like easy, like no effort, and you say, okay, man.
And always looking at you with big smile and
It is what it is. It's what it is. It is what I do. And you say, come on, man, Erwin, please stop.
The funniest teammate you played with?
Oh, the funniest. Well, for me, the funniest was Sebastian Kloster. He's an Argentina libero. He's so funny, man. So funny. Or you love it or you hate it. You love him or you hate him. But I love him.
And there is like, maybe don't say names, but is there like some player you hate play with or against?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, man, there is. There is just one.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm not going to.
Don't say.
I'm not going
But
to.
what you mean? Like you hate how he play, like the way he play,
No.
or no, the person.
The person.
Ah, okay. But don't say.
No, I'm not going to say. But yeah. But sorry, let me finish this question because I played. I'm going to give you the name.
Oh, okay.
I play against Koric so
Okay.
many times, and it was a kind of really good fight, like trash talking a
This
lot.
guy is so much a leader also.
After the match, okay, gentlemen, path. There was
just
no
during the
problem.
game.
During the game,
Oh, okay.
okay. It was a really good fight over all this year. Like every single match against him, was like, okay, let's do it. And then after that it's okay. So it was a really good experience also.
Yeah, I made interviews with him. So such a cool guy. If you could make like your dream team starting six, it's all people ask this question, but like for me it's kind of fun. Like
Okay,
no matter about like foreigners and everything, just your best top.
I'm going to pick Luciano as a setter. I'm going to pick Maxim Mikhailov, the Cecco Mikhailov, Loser, and Seba Solé. I'm going to put them. And the receiver, that's a tough one, man. I'm going to choose Leon, and Nikolov.
Okay.
I'm going to put the libero. I'm going to put. Sorry, but he has to be in activity, or
No, it can be Sergio.
but I'm going to put Alexis Gonzalez.
Okay.
Yeah, Alexis Gonzalez.
One last question, like because a lot of players, a lot of fans are more looking national team than championship volleyball. I think. Is there one national team, and don't say France because I'm French, but like, is there one national team you like really not hate, but like every time you fade them, it was like a really good fight?
Yeah. I don't. Brazil, man. Brazil. We had a really big, we had a big, how do you say, a big challenge between.
Yeah, because like you play
Yeah,
Pan American Cup and everything.
Exactly. But yeah, we enjoyed those games, those matches, playing against them. uh, even if they beat us most of the time, but we really appreciated those kind of matches, those kind of fight, let's say, But yeah, it's Brazil, I guess.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for the invitation, man.